Whenever you're ready.
Hey y'all. Today marks a wonderful staple in the government of the United States. My friend, hunting partner, and fellow NASCAR fan Buddy Williams has officially announced sorry, these big words often trip up us country folk, his candidacy for President of the United States. We now invite you to join us on our journey. Now, without further ado, Buddy Williams.
Hello, America. I am Buddy Williams, but you can call me Bud, the newest candidate running for President of the United States. Today, I'd like to take you to join me and take a walk in our own backyard. Because just like you, I am the average Joe. I have the same values as every other American, being born and raised in a middle-class family located right in the heart of America itself. I also believe that in addition to hard working, we should be able to enjoy the finer things in life, such as cracking a beer and watching some NASCAR. I believe in having the right to protect yourself and your family, gun control. And I lastly believe every family should have the rights and stability to be able to provide for themselves, even if that means shooting a deer in your own backyard. So America, let's begin our walk through our backyard together. There may be a few bumps along the trail, but here in the heart of America, we always get her done. I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, where I grew up as the oldest of 3 brothers and lived with my father. My mother passed away when I was 5 years old in a car accident where she steered off the road to avoid baby Buck. God rest his soul. I worked my whole life taking care of my family, and living with older boys can sure be a little rough at times, but I always took it upon myself to provide protection for my one priority, my family. I graduated from Netherlands High School and became an Eagle Scout after years of being a Boy Scout. I proceeded to work in Walmart for 4 years. I tried Memphis Community College, but textbooks just didn't do it for me. I may not be book smart, but I know where my heart is, and that's you, America. After I worked at Walmart, my love for the outdoors is what led me to become the highest-ranking park ranger in Tennessee. Many of you might think I'm just some washed-up redneck. And, well, you're right, I am. But that makes me more qualified to be your president. Because as a redneck, I know what it's like to be a stereotype, which only makes me more accepting and more determined for you, America. To have the same respect I worked so hard to get. I think to myself, just because I didn't attend any prestigious school or have any high-paying jobs, it didn't mean I wasn't happy. I want to share my happiness with you, America. And together we can help this country build a better future. How many of you are in thousands of dollars in college debt and sitting behind a computer in a 10x10 cubicle can honestly say that you love your job that you've worked so hard to get? Very few. With the economy the way it is, we might as well enjoy the finer things in life, such as family. Here in Tennessee, we enjoy NASCAR as a family sport that we enjoy more than baseball. America's taking a new turn, so why shouldn't we? We can help strengthen our nation by making NASCAR the new national sport. NASCAR combines the elements of an auto-themed amusement park, a family barbecue, and an autograph show. Families can spend hours, sometimes days, before and after each race socializing and partaking in activities. We believe that the importance of NASCAR lies in the experience of the sport. NASCAR also represents diversity, not only as a sport, but as a sport with acceptance of all people. Families follow their teams and their drivers, and that's the part families identify with and relate to. NASCAR is just the thing this nation needs, a new culture to enjoy. Gun control is also important. Gun control is a very relative topic in today's society. After many of us have witnessed the brutal attacks made against defenseless Americans, however, when examining the Second Amendment and the option to bear arms, let me share with you a story about how much safer we could all be if we chose to defend our rights. A man is sound asleep when he hears a thump outside his bedroom door. Half awake and nearly paralyzed with fear, he hears muffled whispers. Now at least 2 people have broken into his house. With his heart pumping, he reaches down beside his bed and picks up his shotgun. He wraps the shell into the chamber. Then he towards the door and opens it. In the darkness, he can make out 2 shadows. One holds a weapon that looks like a crowbar. When the intruder raises his weapon, as if to strike, the homeowner raises his shotgun and fires. The blast knocks both thugs to the floor. One holds himself in pain on the floor, while the second man crawls to the front door and lurches out. As he picks up the telephone and falls asleep, he knows that he'll be in trouble. In our country, most guns were outlawed years before, and the few that are privately owned are regulated that they are ultimately almost useless. This particular man was never registered. The police arrived and informed him that the second burglar has died. They arrest him for first-degree murder and illegal possession of a firearm. When he talks to his attorney, he tells him not to worry, that authorities will probably see the case down to manslaughter. What kind of sentence will I get, he asked. Only 10 to 12 years, he replied, and if that's not nothing, behave yourself and you'll be out in 7. The next day, the shooting is the lead story in the local newspaper. Somehow, he portrayed it as a madman, while the 2 men he shot are represented as innocent choir boys. Their friends and relatives can't find an unkind word to say about them. Buried deep down in the article, authorities acknowledge that both victims have been arrested numerous times. But the next day's headline says, lovable sons didn't deserve to die. The thieves have been transformed from career criminals into Robin Hood-type pranksters. As the days wear on, the story takes wing. The national media picks up, and then the international media picks it up. The surviving burglar has become a folk hero. His attorney says that the thief is preparing to sue him, and that he'll probably win. The media publishes reports that his home has been burglarized several times in the past, and he's been critical of local police for their lack of effort in apprehending the suspects. After the last break-in, he told his neighbors that he would be prepared next time. The district attorney uses this to allege that he was lying in wait for the burglars. A few months later, he goes to trial. The charges haven't been reversed, as his lawyer has so confidently predicted. He takes his stand. His anger and the injustice of it all works against him. Prosecutors paint a picture of him as a mean, vengeful man. It doesn't take long for the jury to convict him of all charges. The judge sentences him to life in prison. This story is an actual account of what happened to a man in 1999 in England. Would you like to be defending your home, family, or yourself only to be prosecuted? America, we can only have rights we are willing to fight for. I ask you, how long can it take for an officer to reach your home? I'd like to assume not as fast as getting your own personal source of protection. When defending my family, I'd like to have the confidence in doing only as our founding fathers of the early pioneers of this great country would have. In these current times, we as a nation are experiencing one of the most confusing and scary situations we will ever experience. This has been caused by the carelessness some others have used while in power. As president, I will focus my energy to hearing your opinions. My goal is to involve you, the people, as much as possible and increase our communication with each other in hopes of furthering along our relationship. A relationship based on trust and success. In times of economic trouble, we must come together and commit ourselves to change through a universal bond. This bond can be found in many ways. When I was a youngling, I found myself bonding with my father and my brothers the most during hunting season. He would take us out killing those deer and small game animals in hopes we would get an understanding of what it means to be a family. As we did, I wish to bring you to the mindset, you, people. Family is the strongest bond we can create as a country. So I ask you, will you join my family? Will you entrust in me the power to help all of us as a nation grow? To me, trust and love are like rifles, powerful, fun, and uncertain. But I feel that if we were able to come together and trust each other, we'd be able to shoot off a couple of rounds. So America, what you said, I'd like to invite you to come hunting with me, not in search of deer, not in search of small game, but in search of a better way of life in this wonderful country. I hope you will share my passion for the improvement of American life. I invite you to take up your rifles and start your stroll with my party and I into the forest of confusion that may lie ahead. I will be your guide, America. I'm your bud. All right.